Hey guys, well, today I'm going to talk about what the Steambox, how I feel about the Steambox at this moment, because I think it's pretty much on a path to nowhere at the moment. It's lost its opportunity. Now, there was a time between the release of the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One and PS4 and E3 this year that it could have released and I think done reasonably. I wouldn't say exceptionally, but reasonably well. I think it would be behind the Wii U, let's face it, but it wouldn't be selling nothing. Now, if they release SteamOS tomorrow, and say 2 weeks from now, you're getting the Steam boxes out and the Steam controllers. Yeah, pretty much no. Everybody will be going, yeah, so what? Okay, I've got to say the Steam controllers, they've been put back apparently. And I think I know why. The hint of why was basically they took off the LCD touchpad, and you sort of think, battery concerns. It's got to be battery concerns. If you think about it, it's the haptic feedback is a nice idea. I've got to admit, if they can get somebody who's been using a mouse and a keyboard onto a controller and not feel like it's the weirdest goddamn thing ever for an FPS, I think they've won. They haven't won the console war, but they've won a really good controller design that will be used for the PS5 and the Xbox 2. Or whatever the next generation is. Or they will be upgraded into the PS4 and the Xbox One. Because as soon as Steam has the patent for something that basically means everybody can play a shooter without auto aim. I've got to state this, without auto aim on a controller. Yeah, you've won, because that's one of the best control systems ever. It's second only to mouse and keyboard in my view. Now let's go back to the Steam box. The specs aren't that impressive. You got a reasonably good card in there, a graphics card. I think it's a 720 or something. But they're still not releasing them. Well, Alienware's releasing theirs with Windows 8 on it. But I have a problem with this. The upgrade ability is pretty much zilch. So what's the point? The only way I think the SteamOS and Steam boxes could be better is if they basically show a standard PC with the exact same card, processor, RAM in it, and a Steam box exactly the same setup, only the OS is different. One's running Windows 8, one's running their version of Linux, and well, actually, you've got to have a version of Linux as well that can run the same game, so that you've got to have 3 versions, and show that the graphical fidelity on the Steam OS version is better, which I don't think is that difficult to do, because Windows can be a pain in the ass when it comes to graphics. DirectX is a pig to do stuff with. I'd say if they can do that, and if they can show Steam streaming, which they haven't been advertising, which I think it's a bit of a mistake. I think it's a very big mistake. You can stream, basically, let me explain. You can stream any game that is on your Steam machine, on your computer at the moment, that runs on Steam, to your Steam box. You can do it. You can do this right now, because you can actually stream any game from one computer to another, which is very, very interesting. This is where I think the timeline between the release of the Xbox One and the PS4 and this year's E3 could have been Steam's breadwinner, because Xbox One and the PS4 had zilch interesting games. Basically, the interesting games, you got them and then you found out they weren't that interesting. Titanfall, I'm not playing it, which I think it was a bit of a mistake for me to get. I should have realised that was going to be a short, sharp mistake, but hey ho. I do feel that if they released the Steam OS and the Steam Box in that time, and the Steam controller, they would have got people interested, because people would have probably gone, I don't really want to update my PC, but oh, wait a minute, here's the Steam Box. I can play on my couch. And the games that I've got installed on my PC, I can stream to the Steam Box, which will basically still be on my couch. So I can still play on the couch. Now, if Steam Box did something very clever, and I do mean very clever, basically saying the Steam Box in one room has one game, and the Steam Box, your computer in another room has the same game, but on a different account. So basically, me and my mate, Ares God of War, had the same game. We could play against each other in the same house. That's what I would think would be awesome if they could get that to work. There would be another option, but I don't know. I feel that the Steam Box is an interesting idea, but it's gonna come out too late with outdated specs, unless they upgrade the specs, which I don't know. We're gonna see. Unless you can show everybody in the PC gaming market, that you can basically install Steam OS and get better graphics quality, nobody's going to be interested in the PC market. If you're in the console market, you're in a console market. You've probably got an Xbox One or a PS4. You're not interested in the Steam Box. I still don't know who the Steam Box is for. Nobody does. It seems to be in this grey area that is very small and probably has only one person in Germany who's going, I want the Steam Box. You sort of... It's been put on a hiatus for we don't know how long for the Steam controller, and this could be the death nail, because I haven't heard anything about it for 3 months since the hiatus, and that's bad. Since E3, I should have heard something. E3 is basically somewhere where you should go, we're working on a Steam Box, guys. Honest. I think Nvidia had a Steam Box at their E3 presentation that they basically brought out for no real reason. Well, also, Nvidia have done something. The Shield. Now, the Shield is a competitor, a direct competitor to the Steam Box, if you think about it. It's a handheld, but it's basically a games console about the same size. Give me a second. About the same size as this, with the screen attached, but twice the size of this screen. So you sort of got this sort of thing. And it's a direct competitor because they can actually show it plugged into a goddamn TV, and you can run a wireless controller. You just plug the Shield into the TV, and you can run a wireless controller to the actual TV. I think Steam boxes, they're going to kill it. I just hope they bring out the controller. That's all I hope. I just think Steambox is dead. Unless I get to know otherwise, I class Steambox as dead. Thanks for watching.